Welcome, adventurers. I am your game master, Will the Wuss. Tonight's quest will take you on an epic adventure to the Cliffs of Elfindor.
Not again.
Your party embarks from the Bard's Codpiece Tavern when suddenly the ground begins to shake.
Was that an earthquake?
No, Mucus, this weird chick has been living under my table for weeks. I think she's a cast-off from a bad new metal band.
Do you have to feed her like a pet?
Not really. She eats the crumbs off my floor.
You little...
Careful, Mike. She could be an escaped mental patient from Hawkins' nut house. She might slit your throat in your sleep.
Could a mental patient do this?
That was awesome. What other tricks did you teach her?
Mike, I need a hot tub. A big one.
Entitled, aren't we? Put a ring on it first.
It's for my sensory deprivation, so I can have my crazy visions again.
Oh boy, here we go.
I also need 600 pounds of Jell-O, ice cold and shaken.
I'll see if Beyonce is available. That's all the Jell-O. Now to add ice cubes, chill for 2 hours, and top with whipped cream. Remember, we need absolute silence so Ash 11 can concentrate. Are you remembering anything yet?
Shut up! I'm trying. Now I remember. I remember Papa Joe. I was always Papa's favorite smelling child. I was the subject of weird experiments as part of a government mind control program. Until one day, the repeated trauma of long showers with Papa must have triggered my psychic abilities.
Everything I did for the 10%.
I remember walking into the special ward. You know, the one with all the tards and morons.
Oh, look who finally decided to join us. I guess the Lunesta and Ambien cocktail wore off. Now go put on something sexy. We're meeting with business partners of mine in an hour. The Russians are busting my balls over my hard drive, so we're going to extort the Chinks into blackmailing the Russians and getting me a seat on the board. Plus, they both screwed me over on a ketamine deal. It's all about leverage. Anyway, dude, Dad has connections to the son of a head of a Guangzhou oil firm now. That's where you come in.
Ah! No, I won't do it. You're not using me as bait in your twisted schemes. It's all my fault. I made this happen. I opened up a gash time and space to an alternate dimension. Dustbin, what are you doing in here?
Just thought I'd chill out. Get it? Because it's Jell-O.
Mike, I have to go into the Upside Down Clown world and save the world or something.
Then we're going with you.
There's an opening to the Upside Down Clown somewhere in these woods. There's also a lot of animal scat, so try not to step in it. Everybody, hold your nose. There's no regular trash pickup.
Phew. It smells like dead dog's butt up in here. What the hell is that thing?
My brother.
Your brother's a demo moron, dog. Head for the hills.
Oh my god, it's disgusting. The chicks are kind of banging though. Ash Levin, you're back, and you brought me a fresh batch of child actors.
These are my friends, not your personal casting couch.
You sure? I got a wad of cash and a lot of coke.
Is that classic Coke or new Coke?
Meet my friends, famous Hollywood producers James Gorgon from Gorgons of the Galaxy and Brian Singor of X-Men. Fresh meat. Dibs on the chubby one. Fist bump, bro. Ash, use your super psychic powers on this plant puss already. She won't save you. She wants to be famous too badly.
I don't know, Mike. They just offered me a lead role on an Amazon Prime show.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to Hollywood. So our quest ends, but the greatest adventure lies ahead of us.
Shut up. Hey Mucus, I heard they're casting for Black Panther 2.
Nah, hell with that. I'm finna be the next Gandalf.
This is ending just like a real Spielberg movie. Hours of wasted time and I'm half asleep.
Hey Hey guys! Yeah, I know, I'm daydreaming like mad when I really should be hard at work right now. I should be writing my article for BizFed and doing an essay for my gender studies class. It's times like these I just get so stressed out that I go for a long walk and just be me. Maybe I even bump into my friends. They're great and we have heaps of intellectual convos on things like rights and stuff. We're so diverse. You know what? Life is pretty good. But things aren't good all the time. There are some people that just think wrong. Some people are just gross and evil. I'm always on my guard because Nazis and heteronormy breeders are everywhere. It just gets me mad. And when I get mad, I turn left. I am a warrior for my truth and my lived experience. I am justice for the minorities, the poor and helpless people. And I am stunning and brave. I am Care.
Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter fame plays Weird Al Yankovic, a new satirical take on Al's life. Weird follows his ascent to fame, but in the years since, the USA has only gotten weirder.
After all my mainstream success and smash hits like Eat It and Yoda, I thought my golden years would be a joyride. But in the 2010s, the climate was changing, the political climate, not the one with all the polar bears. Americans were at each other's throats. All I ever wanted was to make people laugh. But soon everyone began demanding to know my political opinions, so as to know whether they should love me or hate me. Suddenly, songs I'd written decades ago were being scrutinized by today's hypersensitive standards.
I'm fat. I'm really, really fat.
Stop fat shaming us.
Living in an Amish paradise.
Bah! Thank you for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here. You know, I found myself trying to please everyone. On one side were liberal urban geeks and nerds. On the other, the all-American flag wavers.
Why is Al on this fascist news network?
Why is Al on this Libby shit show?
Al, don't you love abortion?
Al, don't you just hate welfare?
Stop it! You're tearing me apart! Through it all, I kept my chin up and stayed positive.
I'm drunk and wasted. And sometimes it feels like I'm getting sucked into an endless black hole.
Radcliffe, you're supposed to be playing me, not you! Meanwhile, climate change had affected the music business too. The age of American Idol inspired a wave of lifeless music, so vapid it didn't even merit being made fun of.
Okay, show me the funny. I hope they are better than the last batch.
For the weekends, Blinding Lights, I've Got Binding Tights, and Ed Sheeran's Bad Habits are now Bad Hobbits.
Oy vey, let's face it, the music business is in the pits. There's no sense of cultural unity anymore. The great American songbook is finished. That's where the movies come in. Like this one, cheap and stupid. Streaming services are starving for content. So here's the plan.
No, I won't do it. I won't.
Next summer, Al directs himself in a new comedy.
My agent pulled the plug on producing my marginally funny topical parody songs. So I signed on the line for another 4-hour change wizard world. With a new Potter movie coming out soon. I make the nerves swoon when they see me on the big screen, gosh. I feel like the prettiest girl in the room. I hope I don't get one steam.
Cut!
Hello and welcome to Creative Chaos. I think I'm lagging, so hopefully we'll have a good night tonight. I am coming at you live from an undisclosed location. Anybody that does not know what Creative Chaos is, it is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fascinating people, creating fantastic things outside the mainstream. And I've got a great guest tonight. But before we get into that, I need to bring in my on time co host, the Batman. Oh, God, I'm dying.
I'm here. Holy cow, I made it. In my Batman shirt, no less.
Very nice. Very nice. Take the show over. I think I'm going to die.
Yeah, I hear you coughing over there. Okay. So, hi, everybody, and welcome to Creative Chaos. While Christy clears her throat and coughs up whatever she swallowed accidentally going down the wrong pipe, she'll get that back together again, and then she'll be good to go. There
I think
she
I'm good to
is.
go.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got to remember one thing here at Creative Chaos. We can't do anything without you. So we need you to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and ring that bell. And if you're on Foxhole, make sure you throw us that red pill. And if you want to throw us some gold pills, even better.
Which, by the way, first thing, like literally right away over on Pilled, we did get a can from A Boneless Chicken. So thank you so much for the can donation. And while I'm over on Pilled, I just got to say what's up to, of course, Madness Comic Network coming and rating us from their I believe it's a movie stream. Sorry if I messed that up. But also, HL Polko. I don't think I've ever seen that name, but it says hello with a bear. And of course, Ghost Pepper coming over with the raid. And a boneless chicken actually has a question. He said, "Hey there, have you met Weird Al? I met him in a little restaurant in Vacaville, California before his show while we were back visiting family." And what's funny, you guys, I actually have met Weird Al and I went to his house. That's a story for another day.
I didn't meet Weird Al, but I went to go see him in concert a couple of times with my kids, and we had a blast.
Yeah, Weird Al. I think Weird Al is just kind of a genuine dude. Like Hollywood has not gotten to that dude, but he still has attained a lot of fame. Like,
Indeed. You'll have to excuse me for 1 second. I apologize. I'm needed in the kitchen for a second. I think there's a problem in the kitchen.
That's fine, Bruce. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the show and bring in the guests
Well,
and all that. Is that
speaking
okay?
of our guest, let's say hello to Chris Brown.
Well, it doesn't go quite like that.
Okay, I'll let you.
We'll see you on the other side, Bruce.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I got a teeny tiny little write up for Chris, and then we're gonna watch his trailer as well, like we usually do before we bring a guest in. But Chris Brown is the owner of Laughing Rogue, a board game. He's a board game publisher and also reviews games. His most recent campaign, Slaughterville VLC, is live now on Kickstarter. So let's watch the trailer and meet him on the other side. And I will drop this link in the meantime. I think Chris is here.
How you doing?
What's up, Chris?
I see you.
Yeah, for once, I'm not trying to kill you.
Yeah, for once. So, for anybody that doesn't already know, I've been, at least for a few weeks now, hanging out with the madness and playing Slaughterville. I am not a gamer, and this is what I love so much about you, Chris, is I'm not a gamer, and I think it's quite apparent when I show up and try to game. You're a wonderful game master, and you obviously love your game a lot, which is what we're going to mostly talk about tonight. But I know you do all kinds of creative projects. But we're going to talk about Slaughterville. And yeah, so basically, Chris's thing is he invites these people and wants to make them go crazy and get killed and all that. Why don't you tell us more, Chris?
Sure. Before we get started, I got to ask, what are my limits on what I'm going to be allowed to say?
We are a free speech, everything goes, Chris.
Okay. So I never got to meet Weird Al, but I was in Universal Studios in California, and I met Bill Cosby, and then before I knew he was all rapey. So
so you were asking about the word rapey?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was that. And my sister, she actually kicked the living crap out of Carrot Top once.
Okay.
I think that's kind of why he jacked himself up, because it's like right after she whooped his ass, then he started roiding up.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry. This is a sister story, but I have to know more about the Carrot Top thing.
Okay, so she was at a bar, I guess, where he was about to perform, and he just barreled past her and like pushed her and almost knocked her over, kind of a railing thing. And she's like, "Yo, mother, what's going on here?" And they proceeded to get into it. Yeah, so she kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's why he jacked himself up.
I'm sorry. In what state was this?
PA.
In Pennsylvania. Okay,
Yep.
So that's right. Laughing Rogue PA. That, by the way, you guys, it's at Laughing Rogue PA if you want to find Chris on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Being from California, I have many celebrity experiences, but the closest thing I have to that was being in line at Disneyland for Space Mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and Dustin Diamond. You remember Screech from what's that dumb
Saved
show?
by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. He was in line. Why is he in line, by the way?
Because he's a porn star and you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So the friend I was with, because we messed around at Disneyland all the time. We had season passes, We're Southern California assholes like that. Anyway, he just goes like this. Dustin Diamond sucks. And then he goes, so do you. He literally, the voice cracked. Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that.
I like that your sister kicked Carrot Top's ass more.
Mm-hmm.
Way more.
It's pretty funny.
Wait, I missed getting Carrot Top getting his ass kicked?
Yeah.
You didn't watch the replay, Bruce. We're moving
I'm
on.
gonna have to now.
All right.
Maybe that's why he started lifting weights, because he got his ass kicked by a woman.
That's what he said.
That's what Chris said. All right. You know what? Let's do this. Let's get into Fanboy for Us so we get to know Chris like as quickly as possible, because this is Bruce's segment, and then we'll get in and dig in a little bit deeper into your campaigns. So we're doing Fanboy for Us.
All right, Chris. Now, I don't know if you've watched our show before and you've seen this segment, but what we want you to do is just rattle off the top of your head the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you what your favorite is. So my first question is, your favorite music?
I like country mainly.
Country, okay. Now, country or country western? Or country rock?
And 80s, 90s country.
Okay. All right, that says a lot right there.
It sure does. That like basically, I don't like Chris anymore. Ew, gross.
But
Like
I also like
I love classic country.
I
Like
also
I
like
like
Guns N'
old
Roses.
stuff. Okay.
Okay, there you go. What about Striper or Twisted Sister or any of those bands from
Yeah.
that same era?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
hair metal bands, as
Hair
we
bands,
used to
yep.
call them. Hair bands, yeah. Cool. All right, so country, 80s, 90s country, old school
Mhm.
country, and hair bands. All right, very cool. Now I don't have my notes with me, so I'm gonna do this off the top of my head, but I've done it enough times that I should be okay.
Oh, you'll
Favorite
be fine.
food. Favorite food.
Anything Italian.
Ah, okay, cool.
Bread and
We get a lot
pasta
of
guy.
pizza. We get a lot of pizza. We get a lot of pastas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so we get that. All right, cool.
But I
Very
like
cool.
to cook, so
Hey, I'm
Oh, so you cook your own. You cook and enjoy your own food.
yeah.
Do you also roll your own pasta? You make your
I
own
could.
pasta?
Yeah, I don't often do it, but I could.
That's something my daughter started getting into, and it is fun to do. The pasta thing. Hey, if you guys don't mind, because I'm such an asshole, and I did not say hello to anybody on YouTube. I was like, "Oh, Pilled, look at I'm paying attention to Pilled finally."
It's your show. Go for it.
Yeah, just real quick. Hello, Carrie. Welcome. I don't know, like you might like be missing a little sleep tonight, but thanks for popping in. I think she came for you though, Chris.
She she gave me hell earlier, and I owe her the preview. So yeah, we got to give her that preview then.
Okay, fantastic. And then Vulcan popped in saying what's up and all kinds of other cool stuff and Manda's entertainment groups over there as well. Saying, hey you. All right, let's get back into Fanboy.
Thank you. Favorite drink.
Oh my! Now, are we talking any
Anything.
beverage or
Any
or
beverage,
alcoholic?
alcoholic or non-alcoholic, or give me one of each.
Okay,
We're good.
for regular, dude, Mountain Dew all day. But if I were to say an alcoholic beverage, it's Jack Daniel's. It's the Jack Daniel's coolers. So like the Down Home Punch and those kind. They have a
Have you
peach one.
mixed Jack Daniels with your Mountain Dew yet?
No,
I'm curious how that would go.
I
tried.
think it'd probably be good.
I think it would be too. I mean, I'm a Jack and Coke guy when
Mhm, mhm.
if I that's my standard go-to if I can't find a good bourbon and make my get somebody to make me a really good old fashioned.
Yeah, there is one. I did a residency for my psych degree, my counseling degree, down in Arlington, Virginia, and I had my first Bloody Mary there, and I've never found a good one since. That there's nothing that could beat that one. But I've been searching for a good Bloody Mary ever since.
Now, could it have been his mix or was it whatever he added to it, his recipe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wish I would have gotten the recipe from him.
Yeah, there you go. That's you see, if you got a drink you like, you got to ask the bartender, what'd you put in it?
Okay, I need to stop real quick because I've been dying to ask this question, and maybe Chris would have a little more insight because you brought up the Mountain Dew,
Mhm.
and that, I mean, that's basically pop culture in itself. That's like the gamer's drink, right?
Mhm.
I hate Mountain Dew. Like I
Mm.
don't understand, but it's why. Basically, why? Why is it the gamer's drink?
It's for the gamers drink because it's the high level of caffeine, keep you up playing games all night. But I like it because as I was growing up, my dad always had it, and I was never allowed. So it was, I could finally get it for myself, and then it's just been, I've had it ever since.
I see. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Kind of understandable, but yeah, it is. I mean, Bruce, do you think that when you think Mountain Dew as well? Like that's what gamers drink.
I'm not a gamer, but I used to drink Mountain Dew, and I got into Mountain Dew when I was younger because I was a big Fresca fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to drink Fresca all the time, but it didn't have the caffeine. But I like that lemon citrus kind of flavor in a soda.
Yep.
Sprite was way too sweet. I hated Sprite. And Mountain Dew, the original Mountain Dew, has a bit of a tang to it. It's not as sweet as Sprite. I tried 7-Up, didn't like it, didn't work for me. But I do now. I drink ginger ale if I'm, but I'm really not a big soda. I prefer stouts,
Mm-hmm.
Busting your chops, Chris?
Yeah, I love it. That's what I'm here for.
Hey, real quick, just to let you know, over on Pilled, it looks like Ghost Pepper made a Laughing Rogue sticker.
Get out of here! I didn't
Yeah,
know you could do that.
yeah, so Kaz, if you can bring that up, just so Chris can see it, that'd be cool, and we can keep talking. I'll
Sure,
point
sure,
it
sure.
out when it pops up.
Mm.
But what is the next question, Bruce? By the way, that lighting's kind of fabulous on you.
Really?
You look really good tonight.
Thank you.
Chris, you're
Basically,
okay.
I'm in my
Yeah.
dad's office, and he has a desk lamp. And instead of having, there it is, Laughing Rogue.
That is
Wow.
Good job, Ghost Pepper.
That is cool.
Well,
Way to
he
go,
also
Ghost
said,
Pepper.
but here's also Ghost Pepper going like, I know it kind of sucks.
I'm like, man, I wish I could do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you know how to make a GIF?
Well, yes.
Well, then you can put it on Pilled.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is. Like, upload a GIF in the stickers thing. It's really easy.
It's not hard to teach you either. And I'm an analog man in this digital world. I'm still figuring shit out, but I got that. I know how to do a sticker, especially on Pilled. Anyway,
How to do that?
so your favorite artist, any genre, any kind, your favorite artist.
Okay. If we talk novelists, my favorite is Terry Pratchett. That's not even a question.
I'm not familiar with Terry Pratchett. Fill me in.
Terry Pratchett makes the Discworld series. It's a satirical fantasy novel series set in the Discworld, which is a flat world carried on the back of four elephants carried by a giant turtle. It is just it's just fun. You have to check it out. He's long since passed, but I'll read those books until the day I die.
Give me the name again of the author.
Terry Pratchett.
All right, and in the meantime, because this is also what Batman does, and it's totally charming, is he looks shit up during the show. He's like most people
too.
actually do during stream. That's typical. But I'm like,
my phone's
guys,
dead though.
We have
My
a
phone's
show
dead.
to do. No, I love what Deepak says here though. I'm gonna bring it back up. Mountain Dew is the gateway drink. It mixes with vodka, not whiskey. Which, yes, anything that mixes with vodka, that is like you're gonna get trashed as an inexperienced.
All right, favorite character, any genre, anywhere, anything. Favorite genre, favorite character.
Don't need to think about it. Indiana Jones.
Ooh.
Excellent. Wow. So country
Okay,
music, Indiana Jones, hair bands, Italian food, anything Italian.
Tu la madre. Yes.
There you go. Do you like spaghetti westerns? No, I'm kidding.
They actually asked me about that when they were watching them on Madness, and I'm like, I've never seen them. I'm not a Western guy. I don't like Tombstone. I don't care for The Unforgiven.
Wow.
Yep, I'm not a Western guy.
All right, so that leads us into our next question. Your all-time favorite movie?
If we're going just general movies, my all-time favorite, I could watch Raiders any day of the week. But we also look at Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Spoof movies. Of course, it's a spoof, but I just love that movie. I'm a movie guy.
Tucker and Dale?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You need to see it if you haven't. It's really funny. But I'm a movie guy. I really enjoy pretty much any genre of movies except, well, no, even some romance movies I'd probably watch. Not many, but you know.
You do have a wife, right?
Yeah, on occasion.
And now is she not a romance movie person?
Oh no, she is. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She had. I have a subscription to the Hallmark Channel for her.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yep.
That is
my
terrible.
sister lives on the Hallmark Channel. My mother lives on the Hallmark Channel.
But there's great, like The Notebook was really good. Like The Notebook.
Okay, I will confess. I've sat with my mom in her apartment watching her Hallmark movies, and by the time I'm done, I'm sitting there with a box of tissues going, oh my God, this is so sad. I'm like, come on, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
It's
I mean,
like pathetic. It's pathetic.
basically, it's like this: dog dies, you cry, right?
Yeah.
Except,
Or the
except,
horse, or the girlfriend, or the father, or the mother.
did he
Yeah,
just
somebody
say
dies
the
and you go
Hoas?
ballistic.
The Hoas die, and then we're sad? No, no, we're not.
Scotty Mac, what's up, brother?
That was
Oh,
cool because one of the wife's cousins actually did a Hallmark.
say hi to everybody.
One more.
Now you're
Do I have a pill?
bend
When
down,
did I get a
bend
pill?
down.
It's
Ben,
probably
Is
me.
that
Hi
Chris's
guys, I
pill
can't hear anybody. But
at Laughing Rogue?
Probably. I just don't remember having one. I do that sometimes. I'll set up a
An account.
yeah.
And
Anyway,
forget
so,
your account name?
oh,
Sometimes, but I did once where I started a Rumble stream, and I didn't know you had to turn it off, so it was going for a couple of days. Yeah. So I mean,
That's funny.
yeah.
oh,
That's funny.
like
So did
while
it-
your
did it
family's
catch
like
you?
doing family stuff in the background.
No, I had it shut off. I mean, but it was, but I don't
Yeah,
know
the
what it
computer shut off, but you didn't shut off Rumble, so it just was static
black
in the background.
screen. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay,
Yes, that's Christy's husband.
that's
Indeed
Carrie,
it is,
by the
Carrie.
way. By the way, Carrie, that is my husband. He really is the mind behind Flip City.
hello. I can't hear anymore.
But no, he can't hear anybody. Just so you know. So Carrie is dialing in from England, and this is super duper late for her. So,
Yeah.
and she's doing it for Chris.
Oh, that's great.
Friends, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that whole like Madness Network kind of
Mhm.
network thing. Like, it's not giant, but it's pretty freaking tight.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I got to notice that. I do on occasion. How do we say lurk when you will go on with Pops, Chris? So I've seen and heard some of your gaming stuff in the background.
I saw your name up a few times. Then when I saw you in here, I'm like, oh, that's who that is. So that's pretty cool.
That's who I am. Yep, that's
pretty
me.
awesome.
He's the
Thank you,
mustachio.
So that was it for our segment, Fanboy for Us. So we got you pretty well dialed in.
Yep.
Now let's hear about you and what it is you create and do.
Yes.
So I turn it back over to Christy. It's all
Yeah.
you, girl.
Basically, Chris, one of my favorite things to do is I freaking love elevator pitches because one, my main job for Flip City is the marketing. So I've been developing my elevator pitch for years, and I want to hear yours. So let's see. For Slaughterville VLC, not
Okay.
your company.
Okay, so just for that game.
Yeah, because I think that's what we're mostly going to promote tonight.
Sure. The Slaughterville game is actually all of your favorite board games in one box. It takes place in a town where every horror movie actually occurs, and this game allows you to take any of the stereotypes you like from those favorite horror movies you have and run them through and actually answer the question, would you really go in there?
I want to know more.
That's what I do. I usually,
We
when
just-
people are
we
going
just-
by a
No.
convention... Go ahead, I'm
No,
sorry.
No, Chris, really, I want to know more.
I do want to know more, but I just want to say that we need to get him in touch with Aaron Moriarty.
Oh, that's true. Also, hello, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. What's up, brother? Aaron Moriarty used to work in the toy industry.
Okay.
He used to design and create toys. He created his own board game that is absolutely amazing. Teaching strategy and based on, I almost want to say physics as well, but you either get it or you don't. And it's a really cool game. It's geometrically, and you got to build. It's kind of like, well, we got to have you and Aaron on together one day and let you guys talk about that, because being the gaming person that you are, and Aaron Moriarty creating the game that he's created, great minds think alike, So I want to put you together. But that's what we do here at Creative Chaos is we expose people to new and interesting things.
No, I expose myself every night. Woo! I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's Aaron's
Keep
thing.
the shirt on. You don't want anybody getting crazy here.
Anyway, so you've got Chris, you've got your campaign running right now, and how's it going?
It's actually a little over 150% funded. It's kicking up on the buttocks areas, so I'm liking it. And this one will give you. See, were you on earlier today?
I was only on for a little bit. Are you talking about during your stream?
Yes.
Oh, that was something that I was wondering. Do you still have your board set up, or
I don't. Yeah, because we
bummer.
set it up at the kitchen table, and I had to.
You have to eat.
Yeah,
You
we
have
had
to
to put
live
it
your
down.
life.
Sorry, I should stop doing that.
Damn it! People living lives.
But
Don't you have a man cave, Chris, that you can set it up for yourself?
I wish. Yeah. But no. See, what this one lets you do is you can. How do I want to say this? With Slaughterville, the game, what you need to do is you have to build the town of Slaughterville using 6 different locations. Now, the game comes with 12 of them. So it's, a nice variety. You can mix and match and so on. And everything is drag and drop. Everything is modular. And then you pick a villain. And we have, I think, 24 different villains now. So you can... And each villain changes the way that the game plays. The basics of the game are simple. You move and you explore. You move and you encounter. And you'll read the card at the location. And each location has a themed deck that goes along with it, so that you can craft your own story as you're playing. Okay. After you build these locations, and what the VLC does is it brings together all of the stuff that was improved in the original Slaughterville, the Slaughterville 1, which we used to call the director's cut. And it gives it to you in one box. Now, originally, for this campaign, it was just the locations, the villains, and the characters. So hence the VLC, like DLC for video games. I called it VLC. I thought it was clever, but I'm special. So yeah, villains, locations, and characters, right? But what I did is I went through and I added to the project, because it's already at the printers. It's already ready to print. And it's printed in the US. But I added the pawns. I added the dice. I added all the extra tokens, so that it's now not just it's a complete standalone game. You only need the VLC box now. Because, well, that's just what I do.
Right. And well, wasn't that the thing even after you launched? That's what I gleaned with my little bit of time hanging out with you this morning, was that that wasn't planned for this campaign, but then you changed your mind. And it's like, all right, fine, you can play the whole damn game.
Yes.
This isn't an add-on.
Exactly. Yep. I wanted to give it to everybody, so that they don't need to worry. Do I have enough to play it if I buy the VLC box? Yes, you do. You have everything you need. Absolutely printed in the US. Yep. You don't got to worry about anything. Anyone shipping anywhere. It's right here.
No tariffs on this game.
That's right. I don't know. That's so nice to not have to worry about stuff like that.
That is true. But you pay a lot of money.
See, that's the kicker. You do pay more in the US for the product, but I found that when I bought it, because I used to make games in China, and I used to get them 500-600 at a time, and I would pay just as much for shipping to get it over here. Then when it gets into the customs, I had to pay customs fees. Then when it came into the freight forwarder, I had to get them to ship it on a truck to me. That cost me an extra couple $1,000s to get it shipped to me.
Lord.
Oh yeah. This is
Wow.
crazy. So by getting it printed in the US, the initial game cost is higher, but the cost to ship it is so much cheaper. Much cheaper.
Okay, very, very understandable.
I'm sorry.
And you know what?
I get nerdy about things.
No, Chris, something, because this is something like I don't like fully know about you, except for in the bit of research that I do. I'm Okay, I think I do social media wrong, first of all, because I actually do look into a ton of people. I'm like, "Oh, what have you been doing? Oh, that's cool, blah, blah, blah."
She stalks them
Before
before she brings them on.
I really do. I think it's like that's my womanly duty. Like we need to just stalk dudes. So that's
Mhm.
what I do. And without asking too many questions.
You
And
bet.
so what I've discovered about you is you've been publishing for a long time, but kind
Mhm.
of across different creative outlets like
Mhm.
novels, all that kind of stuff. I just want to hear from your own mind, how long's this all been going on and what have you done?
Um, hmm. I had my first official published novel back in 2005, called Survival, and that came about because I wrecked a motorcycle, and I'm like, "Well, I'm laid up for about 6 or 8 months because it was bad." And,
Yes, thank you for the broken bones, God.
yep. So then I wrote that book. It's actually still being asked about. I still get royalties for it, which is kinda neat. Now it's only a few bucks here and there, but it's kinda neat that it's still I still get them, right? It was also where I learned to hate the Exorcist movie because as I was laying in on the sofa bed, because like I said, I had broken arm, broken legs, couldn't do nothing. Uh, I'm watching The Exorcist because I'd never seen it. And I look into my kitchen and there's a pair of glowing eyes staring at me from the kitchen. Yeah, right. So I'm freaking. I'm like, I'm dead because well, I can't move anywhere. I'm just gonna. I guess I'll die today. Here, one of the kids left the basement window open. A cat got inside,
Yes.
came up through the basement.
That's so funny. I was like, "Oh, look, it's Fluffy." Anyway,
Yep.
go on.
Yep. No, and from there, after I had that one published, I went and I got my degrees in computer science, marketing management, psychology, and mental health counseling, and you learn a lot about what motivates people when you get those degrees. And that helped me not only to understand how to make games properly, to make people feel towards it, but it helps you to understand how actual characters would work when you're writing. So one of the things I try to do is I try to make everybody feel and act like they really would. You know, I don't want to have, as I said before, and I don't know if you were there when I said it. I don't want to have those so the movie can happen moments. Like, why did this happen? Well, it
I'm
just
so
happened so that the movie can happen.
Okay. Now I was gonna ask you to explain, but then you were in the middle of explaining,
I'm
so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're going to go into mansplain soon, so
Gotcha.
yeah. Oh,
Um, and from there, I actually started watching Will Wheaton Tabletop, which is before I knew he was a douche nozzle, and but I started liking some of the games that he had on the show, and so I went out and I got the games, and I'm like, wait, this board games can be like this. It's another way to. I always liked telling stories, and board games allowed me to help other people tell a story, and that's what I liked with Slaughterville is when you walk through the town and you have those themed decks that are like for the asylum, for the school, for the sewers, for um, the farm or the cemetery, and you go through and you work through those decks and build your own story of what happens when you take the stoner, the convicted felon, and the private investigator, just three random characters in the game. What's going on here? You know, and that's just something you guys can build as you're going against whatever villain you're going for.
right.
For
Well,
instance,
oh, go ahead.
It
Go ahead.
it sounds kind of like a Scooby Doo Mystery Machine episode.
it's a perfect B movie horror board game. Yeah.
Yes, very, very, very much so. And like for me, being like I said at the beginning of the show, not a gamer or this or that, I do have my own character that I need to develop just personally because it's a character in my own universe, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna put this character in Slaughterville. So I just realized the other night that Kitty Phillips, she's a fucking Stepford wife. So she's gonna start like cleaning everything,
Mhm.
like she's gonna be completely useless unless she's healing somebody. That's the thing.
and that's what I do with the games. I make the characters the archetype or the stereotype of what they were, like the jock, the nerd, the stoner, and etc. And I try to make the abilities match that. For something like the Stepford Wife, again, it would be loyalty and
Probably healing.
yeah, something that would bring and gather things together, right?
Mhm.
So yes, I could definitely see, and that's what I do. Is I make it so that again it makes it feel like you're actually there doing the things. And like, oh, for instance, there's not most of the villains, except for one, are cooperative because that's what I like, cooperative games. And this is a 1 to 6 player game. But there is one villain. It's an expansion villain called the Demon Raiser, which is my take on Hellraiser. Okay. And you and the other players are taken to hell by not Pinhead, and you have to try to escape. So when you're walking through the town, you're actually walking through a hell version of the town. Any items you find, you have to hurt someone to get them. Any allies are probably going to attack and kill you. Just this kind of thing that you trying to fight your way out of hell to get the box and escape. So yeah, there's like I said, 24 different villains that we have, and no matter what genre you like, in fact, pick one. I can probably tell you a villain I have for it.
Do it, Bruce.
Do you have a Riddler style villain?
Yes, called the Serial Killer.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I think we should just rapid fire. Let's do that.
Sure.
He doesn't need to. Okay. I'm going with Freddy.
Freddy is the Dream Demon, which actually has a real world and dream world state to it.
Jason?
Jason is my slasher. That's
of course. Yeah. Scream. The Scream Ghostface.
Let's see. Who would that be more? Would that be closer to the Serial Killer, or would it be because that person because it can be so many different ones. Now I do have a Jack the Ripper one where it's a hidden role where you don't know who is Jack the Ripper, so that might be the one that falls in closely to it.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was an off the cuff segment called Throw Shit
at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
Sure. That one I don't have a villain for.
What about like a Thanos villain?
That is my Dark Presence, who has a group of schemes that you are trying to stop him from having while he's trying to complete them.
All right.
We also have the Vermies, which if you like Tremors, the Vermies, normally with a villain deck, the villain deck stays out and you go through it and it's an AI deck. It controls its part of the game. Nobody controls the villain.
So nobody plays the villain.
Exactly. The villain is played by
autonomous.
Exactly. Yes. With the Vermies, what you do is you shuffle that villain deck into each location, and as you walk around, you make noise. So much like Tremors, the more noise you make, the quicker those worms come to the top.
Sure.
Your job is to find the queen and kill the queen.
Interesting.
Very cool.
All right, cool. Well, hey guys, I'm thinking it's time for us to start getting into segments. But before we do, and Chris, we're gonna segments are still all about you. I try to make it fun for you as well. What should everybody do for you?
What should everybody do?
They should. For whatever reason.
I would appreciate it if you just go out and share the stuff, talk about it. If you want to back it, great, wonderful. My thing is, just let me know what you think. Be honest about it, because I can take it. I'm a big old boy.
Like, subscribe, share, ring that bell, and
all that good stuff.
Give them some comments. Tell them what you think.
Yep.
Dude, that is the thing. You know what? Real quick, even before we get into this the mansplain thing, is so you've been doing this crowdfunding thing and like independently publishing for a while.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Okay. Is social media actually helpful? All right. I'm
That's-
sorry. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to think because I think it's a good mansplain segment. So we're going to get into mansplain. You're going to tell me on the other side.
Okay.
It's coming.
That's what she said.
Oh, hey-oh.
You see, when someone lacks the brainpower to thoughtfully navigate their way through a subject or idea, they need it to be explained to them, preferably by a man.
Yes, preferably by a man.
I
And since we don't have one, I'm here to help you.
Well, and I do need help with the social media thing. I have no idea how to even feel about it most of the time.
My personal thoughts on social media is that it's a good way to connect with like-minded people, but I wish that a lot more would actually interact. Now, as far as it being useful for crowdfunding, I've not seen any demonstrable movement on buying like Facebook ads and things. I'm sure that there are benefits to it, but as far as my spend per return, no, I haven't seen anything beneficial on it. I've gotten more from just doing these kind of things.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like it
Are you
almost
a man?
Huh?
Are you a man?
Me?
Are you explaining?
That was great. You know, those are the things I look for in like mansplain corner, and nobody does it. So thank you, Chris.
You're welcome, though. You're welcome.
Or you should have said, "You're welcome, toots."
You're welcome, darling. Or however Doc does that. I can't do that voice.
Oh, it's a good voice.
Yeah.
We just love our Doc Blaylock. Carrie. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole social media thing. Oh, what I was gonna say was it really kind of seems like the things that do best with like social media advertising are the people that have like honed in their corporate look.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just so like even if they are an indie, but the more corporate they look, the more people would trust them. What is up with that? Does nobody love indie or underground anymore? It's just kind of like the grit.
Right, and that's kind of honestly what one of the things that I thought it was too is the fact that if it doesn't look like you spent $1 million on it, people don't want to go for it. When there's so many that I've accidentally found on just from browsing or looking at these groups that I never would have found these books or these even the independent films kind of thing that I never would have known about because nobody talks about these things anymore. And it's a shame.
Yeah, well, I mean, my assumption is we're very close in age. So did you grow up in the 90s like you're a teenager in the 90s? Or you
Mhm.
older than me?
I was born in 74. Yep.
Oh, okay. You're older than me.
I have no problem saying it. It's yeah.
Oh yeah, well you should. I mean, that's also the man's duty in mansplain. Like
Yeah.
you all are older than me. Okay. Batman.
I am older than you. Yes, I'm very well aware I'm older than you.
But you're pretty.
I know. Like that lighting's fucking the bomb. Like you're looking
Really?
right tonight.
Well, thank you. I should steal this lamp and take it back to New York with me then.
I think maybe you should. Well, let me ask you this, Chris, because we've got Batman here and he's not at home, so I feel safe asking the question because normally if I ask a question, he'd take you on the tour. Are
Mhm.
you a collector? Do you collect toys and all that? Because that's Batman's thing.
I used to, but I currently have 5 of the kids and none of the room to do any of it with anymore. Which is why whenever I try to buy books or anything, I ask, "Hey, do you guys have a PDF for me?" Because I don't have anywhere to store anything.
Very nice. Well, I also heard that about you. So, and I bet you actually, plenty of publishers are like, "Yes, I'll take your money for a digital file."
Believe it or not, so many people are afraid to do it because they're afraid, and it's an understandable fear of piracy. I get it, I understand it, and I don't blame them for it. I was the same way. But it's like, well, if you're going to pirate it and you want to read my stuff that badly, congratulations. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
I-
That when we kind of had a moment of fear like that, that's exactly what we thought. It's like, okay, marketing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're only going to get a handful of those. You got a good audience.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get 12 people burning your stuff and shipping it off and pointing it off. You're going to get one or two, like, hey, I got something for you. And then they're passing it off to a friend.
Yep.
And then if the friend likes it, I may want the original.
Yes. Yep.
I'm
That's that.
an original guy. I like the originals. If I can't get the original, I get a little, frustrated.
Yeah.
And I usually sign like everything I send out as far as the original things go, if you want me to. There's some people that have said they don't want a signature, which I understand. Keep it pristine, right? But again, I'm one of the guys that is just I'm more than willing to do it. I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. I don't care.
Very cool.
Yeah. Signatures are nothing. They cost nothing. Like you're not William Shatner. All right? Like sign the damn thing if they want it.
I'm William Fatner because I'm a bit larger on the.
All right. I personally liked what Karen dubbed you as Christopher Brown Pants.
Yes.
But now I think Kitty might be calling you William Fatner.
That's
Love
good.
it. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to leave mansplain because like at the beginning of the show, Bruce, he welcomes you in all nice and warm and it's cuddly. Like, let's just talk about what you like. Now it's time for us to get into Conspiracy Corner and we're going to talk about what I like. All right, Chris? So you're becoming a conspiracy theorist and we're going to get in the corner. And I don't have protection tonight, you guys, by the way. I'm traveling. I have no protection. Let's get into Conspiracy Corner.
Spin the wheel.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those were aliens.
All right, so for any regular viewers of Creative Chaos, this would be the time that I would normally have my tinfoil hat on, but I'm traveling and I forgot it. So I don't have it. So we're basically barebacking tonight, Christopher Brown. And this is how I like to know people. So basically, in this day and age, if you don't go along with any kind of mainstream narrative, you're immediately branded a conspiracy theorist. And I'm thinking you are a thinking individual. So you're probably a conspiracy theorist. Would you agree?
Of course.
Okay, cool. All right. And I don't know if you guys know, we've got Levi Skeen up in here saying, spin the wheel like he does every week. That's like basically his job.
Yeah.
Levi tells us to spin the wheel. So I'm going to, let's bring the wheel up and I'm going to tell you how Conspiracy Corner works. All right. So we've got all these topics here, Chris, and you get 3 spins.
Okay.
But here's how it goes. You can choose either the first or second topic to talk on, no matter what it is, or spin a 3rd time, but you're stuck with the 3rd topic no matter what it is.
Gotcha.
You understand how that works?
Mm-hmm.
And you can comment a little bit on every topic that comes up. It doesn't matter. But
Mm-hmm.
don't start talking without claiming the topic. Really. Does that make sense?
I
Like, don't
understand.
go on and on.
Right.
All right. Because some people like to go on and do conspiracy wheel all night. They're like, this is the reason I came. All right. Are you ready to spin the wheel?
Absolutely.
All right. We've got the CIA and FBI. I mean, that's a huge topic. Huge. And you can go multiple ways with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you
Hmm.
could say a couple words if you wanted. Or you can hem and haw.
I think it would be a fun one. Something in my soul is saying let her spin again.
Okay. All right. Let's listen to the soul. Let's spin again.
I like this wheel.
It's wonderful. Are we gonna land on giants? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna throw it to Batman because he seems super excited.
I just want to say one thing, and then you'll take it away again. Chris has just got an idea with spinning the wheel for a new game, guaranteed.
Oh.
Giants, go for it.
I think we can do a bunch on this one.
Okay,
I think we'll
so-
claim this one.
All right, we're claiming giants. I don't know if we've.
Really? Oh gosh. Well, we can start off with giants that they were actually there and the Smithsonian is hiding them. I know the Smithsonian says that they don't. But if you call them, they say, sorry, we have no idea what you're talking about, but they instantly know that they have no idea what you're talking about, even though they have photographic evidence of large bones found in, well, all over the world, really, but a lot of them in the United States. It's believed that they were, what, anybody? Class? That's right, Nephilim. What are the Nephilim? We could do this all day. And believe me, for those that aren't aware, I'm making a board game based on conspiracy theories, so I've deep dived into a lot of this stuff. Okay? Please. No, this is a new one. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So the Nephilim, if you're not aware, are a race of what they used to call renowned beings or renowned people of renown, the heroes of the old age until they went completely wrong. Okay, they are the offspring of angels, fallen angels, and human women. And these things came out to be some of the most evil and vile things that you could imagine. Hence the reason we had the flood. It's one of the reasons we had the flood, which would supposedly had wiped them all out. Now, if you take into account any of the, not only the current I say current, but in the late 1800s, early 1900s, from the of the giant skeletons, but they've also had more recent ones with the Iraq War, which, if you've never heard of the giants of Kandahar, have anybody heard of them? Oh, dude. Okay. So this platoon, this troop in Iraq, I believe, no, I'm lying to you. It was Afghanistan. So they came up upon a cave, and this gigantic, red hair, six-toed, six-fingered creature came out who was just massive, 10 feet tall, and just proceeded to destroy a lot of the people, maul them. Well, they, with a lot of firepower, gunned this thing down, and it was supposedly taken away by the U.S. military. Where? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Area 51 or something like it.
Could be. Or the Area 52. It's the secreter one. No, But yeah, these things are reported to be, red-haired, extra fingers, extra toes, extra chromosomes kind of a thing, where they are extremely tall, extremely strong, and difficult to kill. But they have a bloodlust that would, they would eat people, to put it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have no problem with snacking on. Like Goliath, David and Goliath. Goliath was believed to be one of these leftover Nephilim. So,
right.
He got his
Okay.
ass kicked by a teenager.
Right in the forehead. Yep.
Well, you know what's funny, because exactly what you said at the very beginning of the topic was what's up with the Smithsonian. Like,
Yes.
I think I'm gonna, number one, add Smithsonian and probably Vatican to the wheel, because that's
Mhm,
like kind of open-ended topic. But really, WTF is up with the Smithsonian? Like, why is that the only place that
Because
can
it's a
handle
government
any?
agency warehouse,
Right.
like in
Thank you.
Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, any
Now you know why I like Indy.
numbskull finding a giant bone is like, oh, I
Mhm.
have to call the Smithsonian,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But also at the same time, are there like alt agencies that are handling these things that have them? Has that even ever happened? I don't know.
Why do you think they had the movie The Men in Black? Is to make you not afraid of them, so that you don't believe they exist.
Mm.
You know?
If
Oh
they
yeah, you
dull
hear
your
them.
I'm
senses-
afraid of Will Smith for sure.
If
Well,
they dull your
you know.
senses enough, you'll
Mhm.
think it's that was a movie. It was in the movie.
Oh yeah, what's predictive programming?
Yep.
Damn,
Or
Chris,
karmatic
you-
retribution if you're going by the satanic world.
Okay, so Chris, you are full blown conspiracy theorist.
I've done more than enough research to know. Yeah. In fact, hit the old share screen. If you don't mind, if you're not into a share screen, dude, you just tell me shut the hell up. I don't like you, and I'm used to it.
No.
I'm married.
No, that's it's so sad. We will let producer Cause, when the time comes, share your screen.
Sure.
There
So
it
this is one of the artist renditions, of course, of said Kandahar giant, and you can see on the larger size where that was an average person. And it's so they just happened to walk upon this cave. This thing was there, not happy. You can see the double rows of teeth. That's another common trait, and it proceeded with a spear to take out tons of these people. So yeah,
All right. Oh wow.
it is definitely a thing.
I'm
that thunder?
sorry. I got a giant like boom of thunder right outside my
Gotcha.
window. It scared me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you were supposed to be talking about that, Christopher Brown Pants.
I'm used to it. It's okay. No, but yeah, and there have been a lot of reports of similar things around like around the mountains and the, oh my gosh, why is my brain blanking on Grand Canyon? In those areas, the southwest of the United States, where these things have been known to have been found. Again, can I say anything is real? Of course not. I can't. I don't have an 8-foot femur sitting here next to me that I can go, yeah, check it out. But would you believe me if I did? I don't know. If I showed it to, if I actually had
Isn't
an
that
arm,
funny? That is when skepticism really kicks in, is when you're not the expert. That's
Mhm.
obviously fake. You know?
and plus these days with AI and Photoshop and other tools, you can make anything look convincing, right? And so how do we know if we actually are seeing what we're supposed to be seeing?
Right.
I know, right? Too much dental floss. That's why I say don't brush.
That's so Aaron.
Fluoride in the water. It's making the frogs gay. He's my hero.
That's
If I
funny.
could meet one person and sit with him for an hour, it would be him.
Really, Alex
Oh
Jones? I
my
don't
god.
think he'd be my pick, but dude, I would say 80% or more people that have woken up, it's
Mhm.
Alex Jones,
Yeah. Yeah, that's honestly
if not
that's
more.
yeah. Now, if we're just talking giant people, that's one thing. If you're talking about giant animals, we can talk about the Thunderbird, and I don't mean the car. Okay. Back in the last one that I've known or that I've heard of was in the late 1800s, where they shot one down, but it was basically a giant pterodactyl style bird that they called the Thunderbird. There was that. There's also reports, and again, I can't prove anything, of a few remote locations down in Africa where there are still dinosaurs walking. So it'd be fun to find out if things were
I don't
real.
think I've ever heard that. Do you have
Mhm.
any more information on the African dinosaurs?
That I don't have a lot on. That I did not do as much research on that as I usually do because I wasn't fitting that into the game. But I really should. I can
Oh,
say my uncle. Go ahead.
no. Basically, thank you for bringing up your game again. I do need to know about what this game is that you're doing, a bunch of conspiracy stuff
Mhm.
like tucked into it.
Sure. If you've ever heard of what's called a legacy board game, and I don't blame you if you didn't. Okay, it's a very distinct style of board game where you take the cards, the board, and things, and you shred them, you modify them. So, for instance, let's say you were um, making a choice of which path to follow. Okay, the fact that you chose path B means path A gets destroyed. It doesn't exist anymore for you because you didn't pick it. And it allows you to create and customize the game the way you want. So this one is going to start off with you and any other players that are with you. You had a significant other taken, and they were all taken to this, or rumored to have been taken to this one location where that's where you would all meet. And from there, your job is to discover the overarching mystery of where the people are. Now you might get chased by, FBI, CIA, Men in Black, so on, and they will be persistent and consistent enemies tracking you down. But you'll be putting stickers on the board like I found this in the Mothman near Jersey, or I found Bigfoot up here in North Dakota. I found a strange site down here in Roswell, New Mexico, right? And you'll put stickers on, and you'll edit the book, you'll edit the story as you play. So that's the
Okay.
plan. And wait until I can't say. Lori tells me all the time, shut up, because I like to give away spoilers, and I can't give this one away.
Okay. And I've heard we all must listen to Lori lately. Maybe I should have Lori advise me as well. I have no idea. I love that girl though. She's wonderful.
It couldn't hurt.
I am bad for giving spoilers, though. I really am. I'm terrible at it. I will tell you everything you want to know. I got to stop that because it leaves, then it doesn't. If I tell you, you don't have the mystery of it.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the whole thing about crowdfunding, right? You have your story to tell and you're building that in that way. But crowdfunding, you're telling it again, but in a very marketing way. Like,
Exactly.
don't you want more, baby?
Yep.
Well, on that note, Christopher Brown Pants, we are going to start closing it out tonight. And one of my favorite things to do, besides getting to know you in Conspiracy Corner, and I'm so pleased that you are a conspiracy theorist. We will have hours of fascinating conversations backstage and over the rest of our lifetimes, I guess. Anyway, but I want to brand you.
Sure.
And branding is not like any kind of weird NXIVM sex cult kind of way. You're going to walk away with a Flip City branding. It's super duper easy. And I do try to pick something that has to kind of do with what you're doing. And I, because we're um talking about Slaughterville and monsters and all that kind of stuff, I picked a Flip City branded type of monster thing called Modern Monstrosities. And so, cause if we can bring that up, I'm going to explain to Chris how this goes. I am going to read you in on this, and then you have a choice of, I think, 4 monsters to read on after you're done reading it. You're Flip City branded, and that comes with invitations back to any Flip City Fafo streams, and those are the funnest. All right. Do you understand how branding works?
I believe I do.
And it doesn't matter if you consent, it's happening anyway.
That's the best way.
Exactly. Here we go. Just skimming the scum on the surface of society reveals substantial sleaze. But just who is responsible for manufacturing these modern monstrosities? We got Frankenstein's monster, Count Taxila, Children of the Con, or Swamp Things. Which one would you like to read about?
Let's see. I like the idea of Children of the Con.
All right, let's do it. And that's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Beware this menacing mob of radical climate activists clustering to block your local streets with their bony bods. These prepubescent pod people will pour paint on anything, even you, to stop you from using oil instead of one of their green energy frauds.
Ooh, I got chills, Chris. That was an amazing read. And now you are Flip City branded. Do you see how easy that was?
That it is.
And
I like it. Yeah.
Good.
Although now they burn down Teslas too, so I mean it's.
And
They're
mind you,
eating their own.
yeah, that is true. Well, that's the thing. If we were to rewrite constantly, because it totally could be reused, but like I think that's from 2022, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm giving it away for free on the internet. It's still funny.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, okay. What's the grossest Tesla thing you've seen?
It's probably when the guy wiped his own butt with his hand
Like-
and then smeared it on there.
Yeah, the one that's
that
the
dug
one I was
in.
thinking of.
Yeah.
That one went pretty viral.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know. What would I even call that?
Okay, so wait. A Tesla is bulletproof, but it's obviously not butt-proof.
Right. Yeah. It took special pinstriping. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, on that note, you guys, because Christy's on vacation and I'm shutting it down early tonight. Early-ish. And I also know Chris is also on the campaign trail, so I'm sure you wouldn't mind going to bed. So Chris, what do you want people to do? Where can they find you to stay up to date?
Sure. I'm Laughing Rogue on pretty much everything. Like you said, Laughing Rogue PA on the X Twitter thing. Like I said, I just really appreciate you sharing out any of the campaigns that we have up and coming. And if you like it, reach out. My big thing is I want to build. See, I call everybody that backs my stuff the citizens, because it's more. I think of it more as a group of friends than just backers, right? Which is why I also named it the Citizens in the novel, because it's you're my people, you're my friends, and I do things because I like hanging out with yous, and that's why I give yous the extra things, and that's why I do this, because if I like it, I want you to like it, and
the digital pueblo continues to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Chris, I've been having a blast playing Slaughterville. It's just fun. Like it really is also like it is about the people that are playing as well, like as much as the game, but you make a good game and it's fun.
I appreciate it.
All right, and then all right, so that does it for Chris, and I will at this moment drop. Hey, what's up, good stuff? Drop the link again so you guys can go back and or share Slaughterville. And while I do that, Bruce, where can everybody find you?
Besides here every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Big Apple time, you can find me on Sunday evenings with my buddies, Cosmic Grandpa and two other gentlemen, Norm and Hawk. We're three beer men. That's the number three beermen.tv. Click the watch here now, and you'll be able to watch us anywhere, anytime, whenever you like. But we go live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Big Apple time, 4 o'clock avocado time. Check us out. We talk about pop culture, technology, and beer, because we all like to drink beer.
I think we all do like to drink beer. Wait, hold on. Chris, I think I already forgot from Fanboy for Us. Your non-virgin drink. What is it? What do you like to drink?
Oh, my alcoholic one would be any of those Jack Daniels. The Jack Daniel. In fact, I have a couple of them up there. Jack Daniels coolers, like there's a peach one that's really awesome. Watermelon punch, all kinds of good ones. Yeah, I'm a mixed drink dude, but Bloody Mary is. If you find me a good Bloody Mary, you'll be my best friend.
Yes. Yeah, you guys go check out Three Beermen. It really is a fun show. They do a great job. It's a couple hours on Sunday. Me personally, I've been when I remember to go. I do enjoy kind of shutting down my Sunday with the Three Beermen because it gives me one more excuse to drink a beer just before the week starts. That's the main reason, you guys. I still love you, but I'm like, oh, Three Beermen's on. I'm gonna have a beer. All right. And then on that note, you guys, I didn't even do the flip. This is how freaking excited I was to have Chris come on because I respect what he does. I didn't even do the Flip Cities pitch this morning, this morning. I didn't do it this morning either, by the way. But I have been wearing our bandage shit here. Flip City Magazine is a comic satire magazine in the tradition of Mad and Cracked, but made for today when everything has gone way more insane, at least as far as we know. It's gone way more insane. So we mock and ridicule all the people that you think we probably should. You will absolutely love it. Go check us out at flipcitymag.com. Subscribe, buy some back issues, read our free magazine. Like, we really just want you to love us, which I would say, Chris, would you not say that's also kind of one of the reasons we independently publish is we want to find those people to love us, these strangers on the internet? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's very much the opposite of what our parents told us when we were younger. We want strangers to love us.
And on that note, we're going to close it down tonight. Thank you, Chris, for being here. And I will, at the very least, see you next week for Slaughterville. Bye.
Yep. Thank you, Chris. Bye.
Been a pleasure. Have fun, everybody.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.